Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another Beyond All Reason replay analysis. This one's going to be about Anti Canyon, and one of the highlights is that vehicles are really good, light artillery on these maps if you use them right. Uh, like, I'm always like, people, they micro too much, they're doing too much. Like, on glitters, it's just like there's this line in the middle and you just pork it up and nobody should be able to get past it. You just sit back and scale is what you can do if you pork up enough. Um, the wind was bad on this one, so I went 3 mechs and 2 solar. Otherwise, I would have went 2 mechs and then like 2 or 3 wind. Played the little mini game with the eco bar. Whenever the wind goes back up, I add more wind in. I'm gonna open with 2 cons, which is greedy. You should only really start with 1 con, and then get rovers up. This is the one I think this guy had to save me a little bit because I was greeting the second con. This is why you should always make light units, because this will happen, and the higher up you get in lobbies playing against like higher skilled players, more of them are going to do this. It's just you're going to have to make a little bit of spam to defend your cons. Vehicles are pretty nice because they're chunky, so they can survive for a little while. Basically, my build order is I'm going to get 2 cons out, try to get at least 1 con assisting the factory so it doesn't take an hour to make. Oh, what am I doing? I'm greeting so hard. You want at least 1 con assisting the factory. There we go, sent it back. A little bit of miss micro poop brain going on. So I'm going to have plenty. I'm gonna have these rovers on repeat until he gives up on the rovers. I did this little cheeky thing. If we look at my view.
Enemy units spotted. Aircraft spotted.
Okay, okay, anyway. You can't see past this, and I'm trying to finagle the camera so that player view is the one that follows around. So, no, that's not it. I don't know how to get the team view, but basically he had no vision past this peak. To figure that out some other time. And yep, I'm gonna chase those down so he doesn't become somebody else's problem. Perfect. So basically, what I'm doing it here is, if I'm about to stall on metal, I'll take a. You want to get your comm up here as fast as possible, right? This is a cool interaction, so we're gonna pause here. This was like super silly. Okay, the 2 cons are gonna grab all the mechs, right? While I'm back here, I'm gonna get a e-storage up and make a bunch of wind or something. Or I think my preferred method is getting a solar up at pretty early and build turrets. The build turrets are to upgrade these mechs super fast as soon as I get a con. I'm gonna pay for a con so I get the con really fast. The sooner I get that con, the sooner I get my mechs upgraded. And I think, excuse me, this one I made way too many, or I paid super early or something. No, this wasn't that game. There was a game I paid so early and I didn't have the E to upgrade the mechs. It was kind of like, it didn't feel good. This one, I'm going to end up doing something that gets me so much metal, and the tech is going to eat it and not give it to me first. He stole my damn reclaim. Okay. So, I want to take these mechs as fast as I can. That's number one. Once I get this established, very quickly I'm gonna make like 5 shell shockers, and that's all I'm gonna make for the rest of out of that T1 factory for a long time, until like maybe I want to make more cons or something. Unless there is a reason I absolutely have to build units, I'm going to scale and make pork. So he got up here first, which I was kind of confused, like how did he manage to do that? You want to get up to the front very quickly, but not so fast that you're like not spending your metal, I guess. I'm really parched. Hold on. Okay. So this was an interesting interaction. I'm going to push up forward here. If I can't... He's smart. So he puts his comm in front so I can't degun this sentry turret. When this gets put down... I didn't know he's building this until like a little bit later. So I have to... I'm probably... If I'm smart, I'm going to stop this sentry turret. Or... I don't want to do a comm trade for sure. And I just want to make, like, this could end up we just trade cons. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to try to get a better outcome. Like, well, that sucks. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I really screwed that up. But he's just going to keep pushing forward with these sentry turrets. And every time he does that, I have to back up. So... beamers outrange LLT, so that's gonna be the first thing. I'm going to I want to get con turrets up as fast as I possibly can, but I'm not going to do that because I have con turrets take way longer and way more energy to build. But it's very nice that we have this e-storage, so we can play around with things and not stall. Second is I have these wonderful shell shockers coming up. Building pork. Ideally, I have to cover so much more space like this. He can just walk around. He could leak. I don't want that. But this I feel like this interaction just shouldn't happen in the first place. I mean, it would suck if he got all light transport and stuff put up there, but anyway, this was wrong. As soon as I see this, I don't want to get caught in this explosion, so I'm gonna get out of there.
Commander destroyed.
Comm cannot push 2 beamers. And then this wonderful tech is going to start eating this. So that was awesome. So after that, these shell shockers are just gonna do work.
Commander self-destructed.
It's hard to get value with them unless you attack ground. Now I can start building my con turrets and claiming this mechs. And yeah.
Commander self-destructed.
I am going to blow through this. So he did get around this with a bunch of ticks, so I would ideally have ticks to counter, to fight this off. But I'm always going to have so many, make a ton of cons, so it's not too bad. I can just retake them very quickly. So I guess this is a thing where it's like, what do I do from here? So This guy's lost his comm and completely backed off, but pushing canyon is always iffy. I find it risky and I'm just not going to do it. But what I can do is help break another lane. So I end up with 7 shell shockers here. And I'm going to help this guy out.
Self-destructed.
The thing about the light artillery is that you can get them built way faster than a gauntlet. That's a big thing. And these beamers, you just, like, you can't push beamers. You have to have, like, so much overwhelming force. Unless you have artillery to break through. And this is glitters, so we know it's going to come down to this immediately. So it's the biggest brain play is just skip right to them. And get your pork up as fast as you can. That's my opinion. So basically, this game is won. I just wanted to show off a few other things. I'm going to do a bunch of scaling. I've gone back to making a stack of 4 Aphis.
Commander destroyed.
I'll upgrade these mechs as fast as I can. I'm going to try not to stall, not do too much at the same time. All these cons that I made earlier I can put them on high priority and have them assist the T2. But I want this okay, this ends up here. So many build turrets. So I build the air factory up here and make a light transport. So after I'm done with this, I pick up this fucking advanced con and upgrade everything up here. But I actually missed a few this time around. I missed that one. Or I tapped it and then went, but then it started decaying. So while that's going on, I'm going to set up the foundation for my Aphis. Or my engine. And I can just tap and go up here because I have a sprawl of con turrets up here. And you'll see, like, at this point, this is where my eco just starts fucking going nuts. Oh, this is a bad word. Also, what you can do is, I have all these con turrets up here. I'm not in any danger. I can make wind up here, and that's what I ended up doing. Don't waste the con turrets.
Commander destroyed.
Tap and go, tap and go. And then what I'm gonna end up doing is I always make 3 T2 cons.
Commander destroyed.
Maybe 2. You really should only make 1. So, like, I like to have 3 so I don't have to do a bunch of micro and wait for them to walk around. So I'm gonna make these fusions are gonna be getting built fast. You see how, like, right now I'm at 88 income compared to his 53. He's got 5 mechs upgraded. I have not as many as I should, but like most of them. I missed a few. And then you can make... Why did we make these in these particular spots? Well, first they cover a bunch of the mechs so they can get upgraded really quickly. I didn't want to commit to a gauntlet, so I never did because I was afraid it was going to get degunned or something. I don't know. I almost completely reclaimed this Overwatch, but never did. But I get a Persecutor up, and this basically wins 2 lanes on its own. See, I don't have to make units. I can just make stuff that's going to get me infinite value. Actually, okay, so I noticed that blue was, he made an offensive fusion. Blue was, what is the word? He was stalling so bad that his T2 mechs were unpowered, so I gave him the fusion because it was annoying me. And then he didn't give it back, so I just ate it, and then I didn't want to benefit him. I ate it and made a Aphis. So this is funny, right? Makes a. This is gonna be so sad. He's gonna make Recluse, and I'm honestly not sure why he backed off, because I think he could have. Maybe this was defending it. But if the Recluse get past this, all I have to do is make like 2 Sabot turrets, and then he can never push me again. Like, this is such tricky terrain to push. But what you can do, okay, you can make. My frustrations lately have been around like having to fight multiple lanes and dealing with Rocketeers, I think they are, or Ambassadors, the T2 rocket anythings, or Catalyst, the tactical missile launchers. So I kind of learned my lesson. I might not have done it here, but I finally gotten smart and started making them. I'll just make a few sharpshooters here and there, Ambassadors, whatever, because they have excellent range. They're a good complement to Pork. They're just all around good units. Ambassadors not so much. Not every situation, but they're good at what they do. He's kind of sad. He's just gonna make these Recluse. He's like, oh, I'm so smart. I'm gonna get over this cliff and I'm gonna poke you with the Recluse, and does no damage because I'm just porked up. Blue is saving my ass here. That was like a big hole in the defenses. And then we just gonna make more and more Aphis. Now, unfortunately, the game slows down here, so not much to say. So I'm gonna be keeping track of if it looks like that we have more, or if they have more air and I'm in danger of getting bombed. That's what I'm going to add. I'm gonna make my own air, and everybody should be paying attention to this, because you don't want to get bombed. You don't want your teammates to get bombed. Well, sometimes you want your teammates to get bombed, but normally you don't. The other things I'm looking out for, I'm going to make a ton of spam. I will have a factory available. I want to do something. I feel like I'm not doing enough, so I'm going to make some welders and try to push Canyon. I didn't end up really paying attention to it, but
Commander destroyed.
it's good to watch your replays, because then I totally miss this opportunity. Like, I'm blind to this spot. There's the next match, there's a bunch of Marauders. So I was like, why are you making Marauders? And then they totally leaked and then destroyed Canyon. It's just not a thing that's normal to happen, or should happen. Canyon should be porked up. Everybody should be porked up. And then also make your own air if you feel like you're gonna get bombed. So you don't have to go e-begging for air to save you. These welders are doing great against these Sheldons. What is happening? Ah. See? See how much just one rattlesnake can do? So I'm looking for opportunities, like if there's a bunch of metal on the ground, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat it. In these later stages of the game, actually, I thought of this earlier. I will like put 5 pawns and then 1 Lazarus and just put them on a fight command and send them to go, because it seems like if you're gonna be sending a lot of them to die, but I think it's like once you have the metal to just throw away, it's fine. Just continuing to make these aphis. Let me see how long this match was. 45 minutes. Do we really want to go over 2 45-minute replays? Oh my god. This one's already 20 minutes in. I think this one was sloppy. So, just quickly, I want to talk about like what T3 units you should make. Basically, Vanguard. Vanguard on these maps where it's just like bigger and bigger artillery. Just make Vanguard. How do you micro Vanguard? Well, they like to attack spam, so use the set target to ground, or set target on the ground, and that'll get them finally firing at that ginormous wall of pork that you can't push because they keep attacking ticks. So what you want to be kind of aware of is, okay, when T3 comes up, the pop-up, the pit bulls, whatever, are really good, and Pulsar are really good against Razorbacks. I'm not sure how they do against Shivas. Shivas might outrange certain turrets. Pulsars are really good. You can, if I know something's coming after me, why don't I just build pork to fend it off? It's so much cheaper. And I can guarantee I'll get the reclaim. These Resbots were trying to eat this Vanguard,
Commander
which they
destroyed.
would never be able to reach. Another nice thing, like, Starlights are really good. Sharpshooters are really good. Inexplicable, insatiable greed. I'm just curious. 10 Aphis for me. Their team has... if you... Wait, that's not right, because there's 2 different factions. Okay. They have 15 Aphis. I have 10. Okay. If you want to be truly scary, do this. I think it's good to watch your replays so you can look at it and be like, this could have ended at any point. I'm paranoid, so I like to make air. I like to practice scaling. I like to do all those things. I want to be a well-rounded player. I want to learn everything. And I like to practice scaling in a live setting, because it's really important.
Commander destroyed.
As long as you don't die, it's the right play every time. You piece of want to eat the Rex as they come up. We don't need to watch this to the end. Both of these games have about the same end game, which was... Oh, my base got really big in that one. I could pull up my Twitch stream.
Welcome, Commander.
As I'm streaming on Twitch. Okay. This is scary. I just want to show you my base, how it looked. Oh, this is going to take some scrubbing. That was fun. See where I zoomed out. Display capture. That's what it looked like. And it gets so much crazier than this. So part of this was, I'm actually genuinely curious. I told this guy to remove this wind like 10 times and he didn't. I'm kind of curious if the wind... I don't think it would have. Anyway, I lost that entire side of converters, and I learned that I don't actually even need to build converters on that side for a long time. So it looks like that, like looking at screenshots. Giant Vanguard army. Oh, that was a happy day. Ragged them all to death. So basically, at the end game is you want to have 10 million con turrets in a tidy base while eating everything on the ground and spending the metal as fast as possible. Okay. Now we go back. This one,
Battle
I kind of...
started.
This guy wanted AC. I was like, nah. So this was my Kappa. You can barely see it because it's purple, but that was supposed to be Kappa. And it's a Twitch emote. And this is Chad. Blue made Chad. Not sure which one this one is. That's a Lenny. And this was Doomer guy. And then of course I had to ping and say, come on, do it. We are gonna blow through this. You must work on yourself. I can't remember what Chad actually says, but something along the lines of learn to be happy by yourself. Do not rely on women. Something like that. This one went pretty well. I'm wondering the difference between this guy and the last guy. He got his cons out. Excellent. And he didn't try to get my max. So he might have still gotten up here faster than me. So maybe I need to change something about my build order to make sure that I'm always up there first. But this is what I would normally do. Get a sentry turret here, and then one behind each cliff.
Commander,
We're gonna have this sprawl build up again.
Commander, self-destructed.
Shell shockers. Excellent. So I wasn't getting any value out of the shell shockers, so I just decided to attack around with them.
Commander destroyed.
This time around, I think I did get these killed later. They're just attacking ground. He can't do nothing. Made too many con turrets too quickly.
Commander destroyed.
So in a pinch,
Commander
make regular
destroyed.
solar if you screwed up your eco. I wanted to help this guy out, so I made a starlight. Look at me making a unit. I'm such a pro, I made a unit. Choo, choo, choo. Oh, this was interesting. So, I was actually smart this time around. I didn't like completely freeze and just like let these arbiters destroy all of my stuff. So I made my own ambassadors and attack ground. That guy's obnoxious. So what you can do with arbiters is actually have them set target and patrol at the same time. Let's see. The range of the arbiter, or the ambassador is 1300, and arbiter is 1210. So it's actually less range. The arbiter is less range than an ambassador. Got the jammer up to make it more difficult. I'm sending spam. Oh no, now he's sending a mammoth. Okay, I built a forward T2. I have all these con turrets. I can use them for just about I can use them for whatever I want. Some things are better than others, so Starlight, Sharpshooter, Ambassador. I'm really timid about pushing Canyon because this is what happens. That was like 4 or 5k of metal just gone. I had to keep replacing these cons because I want to at least get the reclaim if I can. Sheldons are tricky. He missed his mechs. So again, building up the sprawl. Just have some units. It's almost like I'm just another tech player, really. I make enough pork, and then I help other lanes. So every once in a while, like if I'm not using the unit, if I have the unit and this was funny. Okay, if I have the unit and it's not doing anything, I'll just like go help somebody else. He went T3 super early. A lot of high OS players think that this is clever. It's really not. like I personally vehemently disagree with this play. Also, he's not doing any conversion. Vanguard, okay, what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna. So if you're winning as Canyon, what you can do is have a bunch of con turrets here, build 2 LRPC, wait for them to fire till they're both done, and then target down the fusion. And that is only if you completely control the cliff. But well, here's the thing, okay? By the time you have T3 up, I have T2 defenses, which are more than enough to deal with whatever T3 you can pump out with no eco. He decides to make Vanguard. He's like, oh, I'm Canyon. There's all these hills that make creepy crawlies. And okay, one Vanguard. I build a deflector, and if he continues to make them, I just build another deflector. That's about all there is to it. And the factory costs 8,000. The Vanguard costs 3,300, and I can pretty cost effectively just ignore this. So if I feel like my shield's gonna go down, I'll make another. But like, this is already like, why haven't you should know at this point it's time to resign, because you've lost, this team has lost almost all their 3.2 maxes, really. Surprisingly, we're on par. I like to look at the energy income closely for figuring out. This is what I was talking about earlier. For figuring out like who's ahead. It's a good metric. Because energy is your ability to actually spend your metal. That was pretty nuts. So I noticed that this was completely fallen apart, so I just cloaked my comm and sent it over. I need to make sure there's spam. And I sent it this way to scare off the Razorback, and
Commander destroyed.
Womp womp. D-gun the T3. I fear there will be another 10 minutes of this, at least. Well, it's good to watch your replay so you know that I have trouble knowing what unit to make in these situations. And when you're being being on the offense, you're usually just giving your opponent the opportunity to react and efficiently fight off whatever you're doing, and then reclaim all the metal you just sent to them. So I avoid that a lot. Blitz are a great counter to Banishers, or they're a great counter to sharpshooters if you have enough. A good counter to Banishers is like ticks if they're not getting Juno'd, grunts. Blitz are more of a thing where you make 10,000 of them and hope your going against people that aren't competent against them. So yeah, still just kind of ignoring these Vanguard. They're not really accomplishing much. Looks like they let... well, they helped Orange rebuild. And I tried pushing it a few times, but I'm never gonna, like, commit a whole lot to anything. I just don't like all-ins. I feel like I have to scale really hard. Make sure we stay ahead. Especially... Like, you want to have the metal to do everything, basically. This guy gave me a Mex for some reason. And then... He built a T2 lab or something up here. I'm surprised this ever got built. He built a T2 lab up here. I don't know why. Like, this was his plan. And I really needed that space. And I would have been willing to let someone bomb him to get it. Not that. You ever, like, have someone being annoying on your team and you just kind of like, oh, see, this is fucking, like, I didn't get the spam up here before I pushed. Sometimes there's people that, if given the opportunity to kind of miss helping them, you will. Or you do. Yeah, these guys are doing too much, man. You're making me
Commander
scale.
destroyed.
You're making me scale. Like, why isn't everybody else scaling? Go ahead and scale. Like, why are you making all these units and just trading stuff back and forth? And just eat it up. Whoops. I think, every once in a while, I just send all my air to die. I just send it to clear up their air. Give me a little scouting information. And encourage the air player to make the decision to finally go bomb them and end the game. I'm really paranoid about getting bombed. Someone asked, like, should I go air or something? I'm like, everybody should go air. Everybody should make their own air. Everyone should make their own spam. Everyone should do their own scaling. I was just kind of like, I think maybe because these units were brown, I was blind to their existence. So, I actually didn't let this happen on purpose. I thought I had enough to fight off Razorbacks, but just didn't compute in my brain that there were Thors here. We've got twice their eco now. Boo has a respectable 13 APHIS. I'm at 21. 6. It's really... Air is really expensive, but, like, as you can see, that's not it. That's no excuse. Especially when I'm building air for you, brah. I kind of just want to be an air player for a game. It just doesn't ever seem appropriate to do so. think the highest OS player should always go front. I don't think I made a Persecutor up here this time around. Well, I thought this was enough. And it might have been enough. If it weren't for these camouflaged Thors. When I saw this, like...
Units under attack. Enemy units detected.
was completely
Tech 2
unaware
unit
of this.
Detected.
So keep an eye on your
team
mini-map.
reached Tech 2.
This
Your
is the
team
point
reached
that I
Tech 3.
noticed that's
Tech 3
there.
unit spotted. Tech 2 unit.
So this is like,
ready.
oh crap, I gotta eat
Aircraft
this
spotted.
and have like do everything I possibly can. So we got some sick D guns. Got some nice metal donations. I'm just gonna like, okay, sick. This guy is gone. I can finally build out my base. And this is how quickly it can get built. Oh, his name is MinOS. I just noticed. So, one game, I was like, I'm not going to space my con turrets up here, and immediately regretted it. So, or not immediately, but I did regret it pretty quickly after that. I'm getting hit again, so I can switch. This was, I didn't need. What did I do this time around? Okay, so, like, I use the air cons. You take it off, factory guard, and then right click the T2 aircon that you're wanting to assist, and then you have the T2, and then you queue up the APHIS, and then all of them, you'll have a nice pipeline of making a giant stack of aircons to build APHIS. Up here, can't really tell what the range is, but it just you just want to make stacks, giant stacks of these things, and I think you have enough room on this side to pretty comfortably not need to make converters over here. But as this whole thing, I'm getting tired. As this whole thing builds out, I will, like, preferably at the front, there will be T3. The plan was to make this area another spot for T2 Air Factory and just build it out like that in big chunks, and then another chunk around another one, and then another one. It just kind of worked out this way. I ended up having a ton of space open up, so I was making T2 a stack of T3 factory over here instead. It's just like whatever fits, whatever your needs are at whatever given time. But you're not gonna bomb me because I have my own air. And the tech player is also making air, but it's not defending anything. But good job making the air. Gave me a bunch of demons. Demons are really bad. I don't want them. Don't give them to me. Don't build them in the first place, or I'm going to reclaim them. If you give me a demon, I'm going to reclaim it. Unless we can just throw the metal away. So, here's like, okay, when do you stop making APHIS? Probably when there's 80,000 metal on the ground is a good time. Maybe a little bit before that. What can you do with all this metal? Well, you can make this giant ball of air cons to make a bunch of aphis. And then after that, I was having so much trouble navigating this base. But you can make a Ragnarok with that 80,000 metal on the ground. Or you can make 6 Titans. And with the air that we keep building, you can send it off and get some glimpses at their bases, choose some targets. We saw that he's making a Calamity, so target the Calamity with a rag first.
Battle pause. Battle resume.
Somebody queued up something, a split command with like 1,000 air cons or something, and it lagged everybody. We had to pause for like a minute or two. I usually just use the fight command for everything. It's not the best way to do it, but it's like, okay, the units are doing a little bit of something. These demons are being as awful as ever. So I was really having trouble like getting things done. So the first priority would have to get to eating all this stuff. But what, like I said earlier, you can just put these bot labs. You make like 5 puns to 1 res bot and just send them out to die with the fight command, and the res bots will automatically reclaim. So at this point I'm just like, how do I spend my metal as fast as possible? I don't know if Titan is, let's take a look at it. I need to pause this. Let's pause for a moment. 120,000 build power for a Razorback. Exactly 3 times as much for Titan. Okay. How much does a Juggernaut cost? I can't do math right now. I can't even make a judgment on those stats right now. Like, what do I think of it? I'm ready for bed. So I'm just gonna target random things. Eventually something will blow up. Send my air out to scout sometimes. I'm not too sure how many bubbles it takes to defend from a rag. I think it's 3. It might be 2, but it's definitely not 1. Do deflectors no longer deflect? Like, it doesn't seem to bounce anymore. Which is fine. And you lose again. What was happening in the chat? Any banter? That's too much. $16 APHIS is respectable. I have 30. Blue had 21. 24. A respectable 12. In a weird layout. I think. Okay, yep, and then we get 2 rags. It's good to have end games. So this is gonna get built out I'll start with a few cons without splitting them, then I split them to make more con turrets, and then the factory. It's even faster if you use existing turrets. Shoop, 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 shoop. Print Titans. Yep. That's the correct idea. Just eat. What's happening is I'm eating everything on the ground now, and it's going right back into Titans. There's a way to alter the arc for certain units. I don't know if you can use it for the rag, but if you can, that would be great. So I can finally figure out how to target Canyon with a rag. How many Overseer do you need to tank a rag? Probably 2 or 3. Definitely could have ended sooner. But I like guarantees. And we got a third T3 factory. Because 2 wasn't enough to spend all this metal. They really don't cost... the factory itself doesn't cost a lot of build power. At some point this will get an order to make units. It is 6 a.m. I have a weird, different work schedule this week, so I've just been awake and asleep at the weirdest times. I have 4 days off, so I've been sleeping whenever I feel like. Yep, and that's about it. This is what it looks like. We got 2 rags and just printing Titans. A respectable 19 APHIS. It's gotten 2.5 more since last checked. Yep. Just waiting for the resign. Didn't have a mobile anti-nuke. Womp womp. Totally survived a nuke though. Or Orange said he should have taken that max. Yeah. I do not like playing Canyon because where are you gonna put all your APHIS? Yeah, I don't know if 12 nukes was the play. Let me see. We have overlapping coverage. Okay, I'm nodding off now. Just wanted to see how much. I had 7 anti-nukes left. So that's a possibility. Someone's going to make 8 nukes and aim them all at you. So it's okay to make a second anti-nuke at some point. And that's about it. I am falling asleep. I'm gonna post this and go to bed. Peace.